there's a lot of people that have been betrayed and just let down by their so-called friends. And for whatever reason, they don't believe anymore in true friendship. And I think that that is a shame because there is true friendship that does exist, such as the friendship that Drew and I have, such as the bond that Drew and I have. We have been locked in for more than 2 decades now, about around 25 years,
Wow.
more or less.
Dang, that's woo.
Yeah,
Where'd it go, man? Where did that time go, man? I feel like it
that's
was yesterday.
that's facts. And we want to share this with you guys because is in that time that we've been friends, we haven't had a single argument, a single misunderstanding, which is something that's unheard of. But we're living proof of it. And it's even if we were to have a misunderstanding, it's fine because there's nothing that's perfect. But we can't say we have. However, our bond has just been getting closer and being more powerful because when I was at such a young age, when I met Drew, it was at a stage where I was getting into adulthood. Drew is a bit older than me, not too much older. I was still young out there, young-minded, and took me under his wing and showed me the ropes just like a older brother would. And for that, I'm forever grateful. And that is the reason why I remain respectful to him. And I feel like that our friendship is only going to get stronger, especially now that we're doing this show together. I feel like it was meant to happen because he's always wanted to help people. And once I started receiving help and seeing how the universe works, I've been helping people as well, but I wanted to help people on a larger scale. What better way to do it than to start your own show and put it on YouTube and all those other platforms that you can get it out there?
That's true. I always love giving back to people, and I never knew whatever I was doing, when I met you was that like beneficial to you at the time because a lot of things you was doing that I'm like, wait, I could just tell him now, do this or do that, and switch it up, and you did, and you learned a lot, So that's there's a lot of respect to me when you told me like exactly how that meant for you, like now that you way older and you're a father, So. And I really appreciate you for that because I know you don't have to tell me that, bro. That was just me doing it from my heart, because you my guy.
And that's very commendable because you didn't have to do that. And but you did. And for that, like I said, I'm forever grateful. It's like we spoke before, someone needs to know like there's a person who believes in me. There's a person that that's encouraging me to do things. And for me, that was you at that time of my life. Where it was like if I had any doubts, you'd be the person telling me you can do it. Why doubt yourself? And not only would you say it, but what was most important about it is that you actually demonstrated to me. Look, I practice what I preach. So if it's like you could get a job and be fresh, renew your wardrobe, you could match this with that, whether it's with jewelry, whatever it is, you were the perfect example at that point. And then you brought me into like, look, there's these places over here where you can buy this, you can put that, then you put it together with over here. You help with all of that. And that made it even more special because anyone can tell somebody, do this, do that, or don't, right? But you actually showed it. You took me on the wing. It's like, let's go. I'm gonna show you. So as we go, I'm gonna show you what it is to have an older brother, in other words. So that was special and that for that I'm always grateful. But let me ask you something. Now that you started me off and you giving me this wisdom, how do you see me differently from that point, from that young man that was very inexperienced with the world and didn't have much of that mature wisdom to now?
I see you now as a whole nother person. Like you said, we were young. We were not teenagers, but like our age was adult, but we still probably had teenage mentality. You get me? Because we wasn't thinking about like nothing that had to do with like independence. Like when we get older and we have to pay rent, and have to pay bills and have all these responsibilities. That's not stuff we was thinking about. It was more like, we live with our parents. We was both working our first job, We was doing a lot of things, going out, hanging out, having drinks, spending money on clothes, and like you referred, whatever interests us at the time. So from that to now, it's like now it's different because now you're a dad. Now you got responsibilities. You have your kids. You you're more brave. That's one thing I can say about you since I met you. Like your famous quote you always say, like you always been very ambitious since the day I know you. And that's one thing I will always respect about you and love you because that's just crazy. Like when it came to jobs, it didn't matter what the job was. Like you was there, you was trying to do it. Even if someone said, "Oh no, why you working that job? You shouldn't do that." You like, why not? Like I'm making money. I'm not gonna lose nothing by trying to do something new. So that's one thing I see from when we were younger, and then now that you older and you're a grown man, you just more wiser and more like got your head. You used to have your head on a swivel. Now it's like that's big. Not a lot of people grow up. A lot of people still our age, bro, and they still young. They still partying. They still in the clubs. They still think that's everything when it's not. You have a certain age and that get whacked. It's not the same anymore.
No,
We
that's
get
true.
older, you want to come home to like a lady, or you want to come home to her family. When you realize like that's important. That's important when we get older. Sharing your life with someone.
Absolutely. But that's another commendable thing about you is was that, back in the day when people were much younger and they would be on some be reckless, just do this, do whatever it is as much as you can and whatever. You never was like that. You was always composed and you was always on some, have fun, but always be careful with everything and, no expectations, out there. Don't worry about it. You got to see yourself as the man and everything will fall in line. And sure enough, it did. And what I see about you, you've always been the same Drew, just grown to be
Uh,
older, and smarter, but you've always have that same persona. That's actually what led us to start this show because every time we speak, it's always about important life situations. We just always help each other out, whether we're going through things, we always giving each other valuable advice. And we said, hold on a second. People can benefit off of hearing our conversations. And that is the reason why we chose to start this. Because every single time we speak on the phone and we go back and forth, because now as I got older and I have lived my life accordingly, I'm able to contribute right back. So we both giving each other great advice. Right. So it was like before, it's like the tables have turned. It was before I was in a position that he's in now, and then I'm in a position that he was in before. So it's we both giving each other valuable
yeah,
advice of it
yeah.
because we
It's
have
like it's
both.
like the it's like the roles have switched. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. We both live in the opposite lives now, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
giving each other. We continue to give each other great advice of it.
It's
So we
crazy because we lost contact for a minute. Like we wasn't. I didn't know of you. You didn't know of me for like years, bro. And then I don't know if it was Instagram or Facebook where we relinked, and then that's when you was like, "Oh, you moved to Cali," and I was like, "Oh yeah." And then you was telling me your situation that you didn't live where you was staying, that you moved again, and talking on a daily basis, and then it was on some. It was just normal. It was just like, yeah, I didn't speak to you or see you in years, but once we reconnected, it was like yesterday. Like if I saw you yesterday, like if you was hanging out, like yo, my boy, I see you later. That's how I knew what we doing now. Like it was something special. Cause one, we didn't have no plans of this. We were just talking about it. Hey, what you think about this? I'm like, I don't know. We like you always tell me, you like we ain't losing nothing by trying. So that was like more motivation for both of us. Like we didn't know when was the right time to do it, but we got to do it now because time is not waiting for nobody, and especially not us. It ain't waiting for us because we ain't getting no younger, my guy. You know that we ain't getting no younger. Every day we wake up, there's another day closer to that day that everybody obviously scared of, but that's something we don't have no control over. That's why we just gotta live every day. Live every day like it's your last, because you never know. You never know.
that's a great point because There's a lot of people, such as I'll put myself in the equation, where you fall out of touch with a friend or anyone, right? In that aspect. I mean, you're like, you know what? Forget them. They haven't reached out to me. They don't care and stuff like that. It's not about that. Maybe they're going through something that they need to handle on their own. They need to disconnect for a minute. You can't hold that on to them, you know? It's their life. You gotta respect it. They don't have to notify you what's going on. They don't gotta tell you, hey, I'm gonna disconnect. I mean, it will be nice if they can, right? But a lot of times they're not in a position. They just, you know what? I'm gonna disconnect from everything and everyone and fix my life or go about my business. And that's all right. For example, Drew and I, we disconnected for a few years. And when we linked back up, it was like we never stopped speaking. It was just like, hey man, I missed you. And it was more of an eager feeling to like, hey man, I just wish we could hang out. If we weren't too far apart from each other, it'd be nice to just like hang out in person and catch up, man. It's just been a while, but it's that is to say there, not everyone's gonna be the same because some people is gonna disconnect and they're not gonna care and the friendship's just gonna grow further apart. And that's all right. If you can't rekindle it, hey, just look at it as God eliminating that out of your life for whatever reason that we may not be able to see. He sees what could go on. So we just gotta trust in that. But as long as we try, we don't lose anything, as Drew emphasized before. We both tried it in this friendship. We rekindled. We had a moment we were catching up for a while, and now we're business partners. Now we started a show because we want to help other people. He's helped me in my life. There's not many people out there that are actually really in it to help others. People have other ideas in mind, other goals, and I get it. Everyone wants to make money and stuff of that nature, but when you authentically want to help others, that will come automatically.
That's true. It's like I could truly say in all the years that we've been close, like one thing that kept us like on a good state was that me or you, we don't have an ego. Like never. Like it never was an ego towards me from you. Cause there was times you was in a better position than me. And I was just there like, okay, like that's what's up. Like bigging you up. And the same with me. I could have been in a better situation than you. And you was in the same. Bigging me up. It wasn't like no hating or none of that. It was more so bigging each other up and trying to better ourselves. That way we won't fall, or be in the same position that we was prior, and that's rare. That's rare in friendship. And a lot of people, they have family that they would prefer not to be with, hang out with their family because the bond they have with their friends is way closer. And that's sad because it's like you would think with your blood, you could share any little details of what you're going through in your life. But then it's more of a judgmental state where, like, if you tell your family member something that you're going through, they might look at you like, really? Like, oh, I didn't know you was going through that. And then it's like, damn, why you judging me? Just like be there for me. Like, that's what I want. And that's what me and you always had. And it's just speaking about every other person that goes through this in their life. Like that's mainly what this episode is about. Don't think or don't lose hope on finding a good friend. Cause they could be right next to you. And you never know until you go through something or until, y'all start talking about something similar that y'all both went through in your life. And then you be like, oh, okay. Like I didn't know that. And then now it's like, okay.
I just want to point out that friendship like this is rare, but both on both sides, we have other friends also that are loyal in the same way like us. So I don't want you guys thinking like, oh, that's just a one in a million friendship. No, we have a small but powerful circle on both sides where we have other friends that are just like us, and hopefully we will get them on the podcast here with us soon, and we could chop it up with them as well. But once again,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like I got whoever that I didn't mention, you know who you are. Like, y'all my heart. Like, and y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't gotta say y'all names. But like my boy D said, in later future, we could talk about it. If y'all want to get on the show, if y'all want to like, spread whatever message, like we here for that,
absolutely. And I do want to point out another thing. where people are going based off of the song where it says no new friends. That's a lie. That's a lie. And I can say it because I have met some great new people. I have met one friend in particular that I can call him a real friend, like a brother. And he's helped me while I was overcoming adversity by giving great advice, by just being consistent there, not giving up, and just believing in me as well. You know, we did some projects together, and he's a great person. He's younger. See, I don't like those kind of rules. I don't think that they should be generalized where it's like younger people not gonna know more than the older people. No, he's younger than me, and his mind is just he's very intelligent. Like I said, hopefully one of these days we can bring on the pod and pay homage. I could pay homage to him, and we could just chop it up because he's another very good person that I've met along my journey, and he's a new friend. We're very close now because of the same reason where it's not about how long we've known each other, it's about the loyalty, the motivation that they provide to you, the encouragement, and just being authentic. So I don't think that there's any rule that should be generalized where it's no new friends, and if they're younger, they don't know much. No, situations go based off of every different person. So give everyone a chance. Not every young person is going to be full of wisdom, and not every older person either. So you got to court the people better and see how it goes. I mean, no expectation, I guess, would be the best, but you should never close yourself off. You know, give it a chance because if you say F friends, I don't need friends, may not be needed, but it's very helpful because as comfortable it is to be alone and not have, not speak to anyone, it's also cool to have a conversation with someone that you confide in and be like, hey man, like hey, this is what went on today, what you think about, and get a second opinion and just chop it up, just talk about things, get their perspective on it. A lot of times we overthink the situations and somebody else's opinion can be helpful, especially someone that comes from the same area that you come from the same kind of life that you come from the humble beginnings. And that can be a real push for you to keep going. So I just wanted to clarify that as well, where we're not just pointing out that we are our only friends. No, we have other friends that are just as good as the friends that we are. And it's very important to not close yourself off to new friendship.
I agree with you on the no new friends rule. Like I feel a lot of people say that because like they probably was hurt prior, you know? They probably went through something with a close friend where they didn't think, they were gonna treat them that way, or they didn't think whatever issue they had was gonna escalate more than what it was. So I feel that's probably why a lot of people use that term like no new friends because they be scared to open up. They be scared to let someone in. And then, being afraid of hurt is the big reason, No one wanna get hurt. No one wanna give them, their everything and then for them to totally close them off. Like, oh nah, I don't know you. You're not my friend no more. Like we ain't cool. Like and I think that's the major reason why a lot of people just be to themselves and they be scared to even interact with another human being, just the everyday things we go through in life as humans. A lot of people just scared, you know.
So let me ask you, Drew, because everyone has a different definition for everything. What is your definition of a friend?
I'll say my definition of a friend is someone that is there for you, not for them, but more there for you, if you get what I mean. Like it's not because of money. It's not because of whatever material things you have to offer them. It's more so
Mhm.
like they want to be there for you because they want to be there, no matter what is the case. Whether you're going through a bad breakup, whether you're struggling financially, whether you're going through family problems, they just there and they there to listen and they're not gonna judge you and they're not gonna steer you on either. And they're not gonna yes man you either. They're gonna give you the truth and be honest with you. Even if it hurts, they're still gonna be real with you. I feel that's my definition of a friend. And not holding nothing back. If you feel some type of way about somebody, just be honest with them. It just won't be good,
Mm. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Someone that's there for you because of who you are. That reminds me of like having a childhood friend, right? Where it's like we may be broke, but hey, it's just awesome chilling with you, regardless if we're broke, regardless if we have some money to go out and chill.
Yeah, it's like we broke together, but we still finding things to do and things to have fun. You know, like I was saying, like a real friend is someone that they're there for you, and it's not about money. It's not about a come up. They just there because they want to be there for you, and they willing to listen, no matter what it is, and no matter what you're going through.
Yeah, yeah, that's very important because there's plenty of friends when times are good. Let's see when the times are bad if you want to chill. Because also there's a lot of vultures out there that are watching when you're doing bad, like making sure that you stay in that pocket also. You just gotta court yourself, not saying that everyone has good intentions, but again, not everyone has bad intentions neither. Just gotta be careful out there, but don't close yourself off to it. One thing that I personally struggled before with, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people go through the same, is where it's like, but I would have done this for them, or I wouldn't have done that to them. My good friend that I was just speaking about earlier, he told me, not everyone is gonna be like you. Not you can't hold that on them. They different. Just because you have that kind of heart doesn't mean that they're gonna have it, but doesn't make them bad neither. It's just not who they are. And then, that there has helped me a whole lot because I guess before I was more based on expectations. If I was to take off my coat and give it to you because you're cold, and then one day I'm cold, I would expect for you to give it back. The same thing, the favor. Take off your coat and give, and if you don't, that would have like hurt me. Like, but I did it for you, but I would do it for you again. Why can't you do it for me? Versus now, it's like I do it, and I don't have anything to think about. I did it, and if whatever day I'm cold and you don't do it in return for me, I'm completely all right with that. I just know what I can and cannot count on you for, but it's not gonna end our friendship. I just know where to place you at that point. It's like, all right,
It's just nowadays friends are just hard to find, honestly. Like, yeah, it'll be hard because you don't want to let someone in that's a stranger in your life. But you got to think of it as like when you meet the opposite sex, it's the same way. Like, you don't want to let a stranger in your life, but you end up doing it. So you got to have that same mentality. Like, this could be good. This could be a good friend. This could be a friend for years. It could be a friend where he's just coming into your life and it's just for a time period. It could have been a learning a lesson. Everything has its moments, nothing is forever. So, but if you do find a friend that you could cherish and appreciate, and y'all both appreciate each other in the equal, in an equal way, it's like that's very rare and it's very hard to find. Basically, someone that's like more of a brother to you or sister to you, where you could confide in them in anything, and they're not gonna like turn their back on you, and they're not gonna judge you on nothing you've gone through in your life. I think that's like a real friend.
that's another powerful point that you just made there. So not everyone was intended to come into your life forever. Some people
That's
are some
true.
people are just meant to stay there for a chapter of your life. Some people are meant to stay there for half of your life and so forth. So don't get upset if the friendship ever falls apart or whatever it is. They serve their purpose in your life and vice versa. So that's just God leading the way. God preparing you for your next move. God preparing you for your next chapter. So you accept it. Whatever it is, know that God is leading the way and He's doing everything for our best interest. And once you start thinking that way, where it's like, okay, I've learned a lesson with this friend. Now I'm gonna tread carefully next time. If I've made myself open up myself too much to this person in which they spread my business, now they're not my friend no more. But hey, I've learned to be careful with my personal information with people now. Now moving forward, I'm gonna court the next person, and if I feel comfortable, I'm gonna give them a little bit. a little bit more and see how far I can trust them. So that's a very important point that you made there, Drew, where it's like not everyone is meant to be in your life forever. We all would love to have that childhood friend that we're friend
Mm-hmm.
till we're gone from this universe together. Same way that we would hope also to have a relationship from a young age, where we grew up together, same thing, but that's not how life works. People come in
Yeah.
and people come in and leave our lives at different points and stages, and that's all right. That's God. We just got to do our part. As long as we know we're doing right, we're putting our good karma out there, we move forward with a clean conscience. We ain't got nothing to worry about because we know we did right. If other person did us wrong, then that's on them. God sees everything. Karma exists. We just keep moving forward. That wasn't meant. That's how I look at life now. No matter what it is, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a job, if it doesn't come into my life, I don't get approved, I don't get accepted. You know what I say now? Thank you, God, because I know that wasn't for me. Thank you for allowing me not to waste my time with that, right? And I just keep pushing. I don't get upset anymore. If I see something, like I said, let's use a job, for example. If I see where it's like you go to one of those websites and it says your application was not chosen or they're moving forward with another candidate, great. Thank you for sparing my time where I don't have to go waste my time with your company and it wouldn't have worked out. And if I
Yeah.
and if I went to your company and it was for a short period of time lived, it was because God needed me to learn a lesson there. There was something I need to go through or see in order for me to proceed on my journey. So I just look at life like that, and that helps me a whole lot. Keeps me calm because other than that, if you start thinking, damn, why am I not getting hired? Damn, why didn't this relationship work out? Or damn, why couldn't he just keep my secret safe with him? You're just tormenting yourself. You're adding unnecessary stress to your life. Just trusting God. God leads the way. God doesn't leave none of us behind. There's a great movie actually where it's I think I told it to you before, Drew. It's please don't hold it on me if I get it wrong. I think it's called Family Man with
Mm.
Nicolas Cage, where he's
Oh
a
yeah.
he's a rich man, and
Mm-hmm.
according to him, he has it all. And he met someone, and he told them that there's nothing that he needs in his life, that he has everything he can ever want. Then he had to go into a glimpse, and this is not a movie review. And he was desperate to get out of that new life that he was experiencing because it wasn't the rich life that he had. And he kept asking the guy, when am I going to get out of this? And he's like, as long as it takes for you to realize why you're in it in the first place. Long story
Mm.
short, once he realized the point, it was time to go back to his life. He didn't want to go back. He didn't want to because he realized what he was missing in his life.
I seen that. That's a real deep movie. I seen that movie. It's
But
basically
that's
he had, like you said, he had everything far as like he was wealthy, all the material things you could have, but his loss was spending time with his family, and,
mm,
and that's what hit him differently. Like it was like him looking outside the box of like when he's not there and his family's there, and that's what changed his whole perception of everything. When he was like, I don't want to go back to yeah, I have money, I have everything, but that's not important. Like I want to be with my family. I want to spend time with my wife. I want to spend time with my kids. And that's when he realized, like, wow, like he was living life wrong the whole time, mentally, mentally, not far as money or anything like that. Just mentally, in the way his outlook on life, because he always had everything, so he felt like he was not missing nothing. But he was missing time, which, like you said, that's another topic we could talk about, on a future episode.
yeah, once he realized, and I feel like that's how life is in general. God leaves you in your position, not because he's ignoring us, not because he doesn't care about us, but it's like you need to learn a lesson from this in order for you to move to the next stage of your life. And until you don't learn that lesson, I'm gonna have to leave you there.
Hmm.
And a lot of times we go in it and we the same way as just like in that movie. Why? No, we don't want this. We want to go back. But then it's like at the end of the day, when we learn the lesson, it's like, wow, that was there for that. I was there for that this whole time. So it's very important to know whatever you're going through, it's not gonna be forever. Learn the lesson so you won't make that mistake again. Any kind of relationships, friendship, but let's talk about your love life, where it's like this person did me wrong, so I don't ever want to be in a relationship again. No, God has someone better for you in for your life. That's just his plan for you. That chapter needed to close. So although it hurt your feelings, God had to close that door for you in order for you to be able to proceed to proceed in your life journey because you would have never closed that door yourself. So it's just like trust the universe, trust God that everything is happening for a reason. We're never going to understand it, but just know that certain things happen for a reason in order for you to proceed on your life journey.
I just hope y'all enjoyed this episode. And even though it's a very touchy subject, because friendship is very important. Um, and just know, it's all within time. Like it's never the right time, basically, to have a new friend. It's more so um, letting it flow, letting it be natural.
And please, we invite you all to drop a comment and suggest some topics for us to speak about. Or I know we might have left a few things, or if not a lot of things out about the topic friendship. Please let us know, like, hey, how about this? What do you guys think about that? So we can either recreate another video or we can make a short about it. But please help us help you. We're here to give some great advice. We've been through a whole lot in our lives, and fortunately, we have made it out of that, and we still have our own battles, just like everyone else. But we want to give back at the same time. And you'd be surprised. Maybe we have gone through something that you're going through or you're curious about to know. And we can just assist you by giving you some advice or giving you our personal experience with it. So please, once again, we invite you to drop a comment and suggest certain topics. Or if you have a question, we are proactive on all of our social media platforms, and we will take into consideration and make a short or make any kind of response about it. All right, until next time. Peace.